I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha, and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I appreciate the support. And if you're interested in supporting me further, you can do that by going to my Patreon or Ko-fi link. They're both in the description below. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about being busy and how I've kind of become allergic of sorts to being busy. In general, I am an INFJ obviously, and so in general I like a very scheduled day. I like to know exactly what I'll be doing every minute of every single day, even if it means that I'm just going to be sitting around and staring off into space, or I'm going to be sitting around and reading my mangas, or I'm going to be sitting around and watching some K-dramas, Korean dramas. Whatever that thing might be, it doesn't really matter. I want to know before the day starts. So usually the day before I'll kind of plan out my next few days. Usually on a Sunday I'll plan out my entire week. And so I know exactly what I'm doing during the days. So if I want to do a dinner with a friend, I like to schedule it in. It's okay to do spontaneous things, and I have big chunks of time that I've left behind just so that I'm not doing anything in those times. But in general, if someone looked at my schedule, they would see that I usually only try as much as possible, try to have 4 to 5, maximum 6 to 7 things on there. Yeah. Usually perfection is when I have 4 to 5 items on it, and I can get my work done by 2-3 p.m. and the rest of the day I can just chill out, relax, get a massage, have dinner with a friend, etc. But what I'm noticing is that there is this general intensity or general kind of propensity in this world to fill your schedule to the max. And I notice a lot of people kind of saying this to me on a daily basis. I talk to a lot of people about schedules and routines and things like that because they know that I have a very strict routine and they ask me about it. But when they see my schedule and they see my to-do list for the day, they look at it and they're like, there's only 5 items here. And they're like, yeah, you have a morning routine and all that stuff, but these are only 5 items that you have to do. Why is that? And in general, they get annoyed by me because a lot of times I will say no to things. And if they did look at my schedule, they know that I don't have that many things on my schedule. In fact, my schedule is pretty much empty most of the time. And I like it that way. I don't want to be busy. I don't want to be so busy that I barely have time to think about anything. Recently, a friend and I were talking about something, and she mentioned something about how her driver's license has been expired for a year because she was so busy with work and general life that she did not have the time to even go to the office, to the bureau, whatever it is, in Thailand and get it renewed. And it's funny because ironically, she actually came to the dinner that we were at late as well by an hour and a half, because again, she was stuck at work and she couldn't get out, and she was in a meeting or something like that, and by the time she got to the dinner, it was about an hour and a half late. I'm just wondering, when I was looking at this, I'm like thinking to myself, why are you keeping yourself so busy? Why are you adding more things into your schedule? And this is what she would always, our conversation kind of went off in the same direction, where she was constantly saying things like, yeah, I need to do this for my father, I need to do this for my mother, I need to do this for my uncle, I need to do this for my ex, I need to do this for... I'm thinking to myself, why are you adding more things to your schedule? Where you don't have the time to renew your driver's license. You're driving around with an expired license, which means that you have to do all the paperwork and everything again because it's expired. It's a pain. And it's only because you've been saying yes to all of these different things that perhaps you could say no to. I think it's also a female tendency, maybe. I really do think it's kind of our thing where we want to be seen as a good girl. We want to be seen as a good woman, as a good child, as a good daughter, whatever it might be, right? And so we always do things and we always say yes to things that we really don't want to do. And I know that I've done this in the past many times, whereas now I'm kind of completely okay, absolutely completely okay with saying no to things, especially if I don't want to do them. Especially if I don't want to do them, it's not happening. It's not happening because I don't want to do them. Now, of course, there are things that you just have to do sometimes, right? I mean, you have to certain times go to family events. You have to sometimes go here and there. And so that's okay. I'm not saying that I'm completely in denial of all of these events. But mostly if it's not in my schedule and I really don't think it's going to be helpful to me or useful and I'm not in the mood for it and the other person doesn't really mind as much if I say yes or no, I will say no 99% of the time. In fact, 99% of the time when someone asks me, can we go to this event, or do you want to come here, or do you want to do that, in the past I would make up some excuse. Nowadays I just say no, I'm sorry, I can't, I have work, I'm busy, or I'm busy. And what am I busy doing? It doesn't matter. I don't have to explain myself. Even if that busyness is just about me sitting in my room and staring off into space, if that's what I need to do today, then that's what I'm going to do. And I don't need to make up excuses to tell this person, no, I can't come because I'm sorry, I'm taking a self-care day and I apologize and things like that. No need to say all that stuff. I can't make it because I am busy doing whatever I need to do. And there was this quote that I wanted to say, that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and it says, I don't say no because I'm so busy. I say no because I don't want to be so busy. So I don't say no because I'm so busy. And that's exactly me. I'm not saying no because I'm extremely busy. Although me sitting down and staring off into space is actually like a very important time to me. If I don't get that time every single day, I actually notice that my mental sanity levels drop off immensely. And so I'm not saying no because I'm so busy. I'm saying no because I don't want to be busy. I don't want to be packed in like sardines with my schedule. I just don't want to go from one event to another event to another event like a lot of people do. And I don't want to go till the end of the day and then come home and then come to bed exhausted and just flop into bed and unable to do any kind of evening routine because I don't have the energy for it, and then repeat this for the rest of eternity. Why? Because I want to be seen as a good person. I want to be seen as a person who says yes. No, I don't care about that stuff anymore. So I'm going to say no as much as possible. And little by little, everyone around me has been trained. Little by little, everyone around me knows now that I'm not going to say yes to something unless I really, really want to go to it. And if I want to go to it, then I'll go. There's no need for you to even ask me. I will be there. And I'm not saying that I'm just a complete recluse. I'm sitting at home doing my meditations and not going anywhere. A lot of people ask me just in this afternoon, someone asked me and said, I'm going away from Chiang Mai. I was wondering if you want to come meet me for dinner on Sunday, etc. I was like, yeah, definitely. I won't see you for a few months. I'd like to see you. And so I put it into my schedule. Now I knew also that, Sunday was a free day for me and I had time to see her, so that worked out perfectly. But that's how I like to do my days. I don't like to have them jam-packed. And I think probably has to do a little bit with the INFJ thing. Probably has to do a little bit with the fact that I am sick and tired of being taken advantage of and giving time to other people without getting anything in return. And also, I am sick and tired of saying yes to things that I really don't want to do, because I'm realizing more and more that I'm getting older and my time on this planet is limited, getting more and more so limited as time goes on. And I don't want to spend this limited time on this planet doing things I don't want to do with people that I don't want to see in places that I really don't want to be. So I'd rather just say no and then spare them the effort of seeing me being grumpy and out of place, rather than, I'd rather they spend time with people who actually want to be there, who are excited to be there, and who want to spend time with them, right? And so it works out perfectly for all situations, I think, and it's a win-win situation for every person involved. It's funny because recently a friend of mine invited me to a wedding, and I was thinking to myself, this is a very important friend to me, and weddings are important to people. I don't know why, that I should do a video on that and how I really think it's such a waste of time and money. But in general, they're important to people. So, if she's important to me, I imagine that I should be at her wedding. But the timing and the place that it was in, the way it would be set up, all of it was just not my cup of tea. And so over time, I was like, all right, this is an important event to her, but if she understands me as a friend, she'll understand if I can't come. And so I told her I won't be able to come. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to come. I won't be able to make it. And she was fine with it. I don't know why I spent so much time overthinking it. But in general, I wanted to give you guys a message that most people will not care, actually, if you don't show up. We have this idea or persona or thing that, we're so vain. We think, we're so important to everyone and they're going to be so disappointed and their worlds are going to be falling apart if we say no and if we don't show up. Most of the time, I've noticed no one really gives a rat's ass. If I'm there, it's great. If I'm not there, they don't care. And so that's perfect because I can show up if I want to and if it works with my schedule and the way I want to live my life. If I don't want to show up, then I don't have to show up, and it works out perfectly as well. So there's no need for us to feel this sort of guilt. We don't need to make ourselves extra busy because we need to fulfill some random idea of saying yes to everyone. We can just do what we want, and if doing what we want means saying no to every event for the next foreseeable future, then go for it. And if your friends don't want to be friends with you anymore because of that, then they weren't good friends anyways, and you didn't train them properly. And if you train them properly, they won't get annoyed by it because they know that this is the kind of person you are. Yeah, I hope this makes sense. This is actually really important because I noticed that in general, if you're an INFJ or not, in general as a human being, we need these chunks of time of doing nothing, of doing whatever we want to do, of staring off into space in order to feel our mental sanity be up to par. But if we don't get those spaces of time, then you can imagine that you could start feeling really angry at the world and in general, and just annoyed, frustrated, and anxious all the time because you just don't know how much work do I have to do? Do I have to do that? And I add this, etc. And so it's really important for you to take that time and realize that your schedule should not be jam-packed. Remove all the stuff that you can as much as possible. Don't think of yourself as being a good person. Just say no and be that bad person that perhaps they think you are. Probably not, though. As I said, most people don't care. Again, if you have any questions about this, comment below and I shall do a follow-up video. If you have any questions, personal questions, then you can email me and I'll tell you that I don't do free advice anymore and I charge for it now, and then you can send me an angry email like a lot of people have been doing. I don't know why people get angry when people who are giving all of this free advice are saying, no, I'm not going to give you, I've already done about 1,000 free videos, so I've already done all this work for you guys, and then if I don't do extra work in terms of sending an email back on personal advice, then people get angry about it. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not happening. All right, and if you want to support me further, you can do that by going to my Patreon or Ko-fi link. They're linked in the description below. I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.